Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name's Corina. Today's super exciting because it is August 24th. So if you live in like Orlando or you live in California, Halloween starts like September 1st. So a lot of the attractions and like theme parks that do themed events for Halloween and spooky season are doing a lot of their previews right now. And tonight is the Knott's Scary Farm merchandise and food and drink preview, and they invited me to come out. So I'm gonna head to Anaheim tonight. I haven't been, honestly, back to Knott's since probably last Scary Farm. So I'm excited to see how it's decorated for this year's event and all of the new mazes, food, drinks, merch, etc. So I'm super excited that they invited me out. We are gonna head out, but I wanted to show you guys what I'm gonna wear for tonight. I'm gonna be vlogging the whole event, so I was like, you know what? Let me just dress all cute. But I actually cut up this Scream shirt. This was originally like an oversized t-shirt, but I didn't love the way that it fit on me. So I kind of just cut it into a tube top. And then I'm wearing it with a little white skirt and then my Sambas, which if you know anything about me right now, Sambas are my new obsession ever since I've been going to New York every 5 minutes, and every bitch in New York wears Sambas. So I am now wearing them all the time because I have them in like every freaking color. So that's my fit check. I'll show you guys in the mirror. Please ignore how messy my apartment is. I literally still have my suitcase over there from New York that I haven't unpacked, but this is the fit. It's just a little white mini skirt, and then I just like cut up this shirt. If you guys want like a tutorial on how I did this, I can show you, but it has like 2 strings in the back right there just to hold up the front half, and then the bottom half I kind of like tied it in with my bra so I could wear a bra with this shirt too. But yeah, and then I just have like white tube socks on and my black Sambas because they bring in the white and black, and I'm gonna be doing a lot of walking, so I figured it was just best to wear some little sneakers, and then I just have 2 little high ponies. So let's go get Haley. I'm bringing Haley with me because I can never do any of this spooky stuff by myself too often, because then I do get a little spooked myself. So we're gonna go get Haley and we're gonna head over to Knott's.
50 years ago, Knott's Scary Farm began. This is our 50th haunt, 1973. My first year was 1987. Welcome to Scary Farm 50, Nightmares Revealed. This year, Knott's Scary Farm is extremely proud to present its 50th anniversary with a lineup of haunt goodies that will have you screaming for more. Event nights are select nights September 21st through October 31st. The buffet returns. Fright Lane returns. VIM, the very important monster, which is a tour that includes right there private guide, priority access, dinner, a t-shirt, and more. What's the more? I don't know, but I'm sure it's amazing. Priority access to all the mazes and select attractions. We also have special hotel packages.
So we have a lot of fun in store tonight, so we are going to dive right in. We are going to get into the fabulous and frightening scare zones of Knott's Scary Farm.
First up, returning from previous years is the Timber Mountain Long Ride Halloween Hootenanny. Every year, the citizens of Timber Mountain invite the mysterious creatures that live out in the woods and caverns of the area to join them as they celebrate the season at the Halloween Hootenanny. All set to an original song performed by Crazy Kirk and the Hillbillies. That's the Timber Mountain Long Ride Halloween Hootenanny.
Also, welcome back, Calico Candy Mountain. Every fall, the Calico mines undergo a fantastical transformation into a candy wonderland. And what a sweet treat it is.
Yes. All right, let's get to, are you ready? We'll get to it. The Scare Zones. First up for our Scare Zones is, of course, the granddaddy of them all. Roll that beautiful footage there. Ghost Town Streets, where Scary Farm was born. Good luck making it through Fog Alley in one piece. They're waiting for you. And there will be here some tonight. And that's Ghost Town Streets right there. Look at it. Oh, it's beautiful.
And next up, we have Forsaken Lake. Along Mission Row, a watery grave awaits those who get lost among the tombstones in Forsaken Lake.
Yes. Any fans of Forsaken Lake? Yeah! All right, next up, returning favorite. Let's roll it. The Goring 20s! Venture down memory lane back in time to the decadent decade of the Goring 20s. This unique zone has returned for another year of terror-filled temptation. Featuring, of course, the Devil's Elixir.
And up next, we have Carnival. Strolling down the boardwalk, Carnival will have you dying from laughter. And just dying. That's Carnival for you.
There it is. And new for this year is an old friend that you probably remember. Roll it. The Gauntlet returns! This classic scare zone returns to put the evil in medieval. Live out your wildest fantasies in this ghost from the past. As the Gauntlet returns.
All right, folks, up next, we are going to dive into returning mazes for 2023. And first up, we have the Depths. Follow in the steps of a doomed mining team as you plunge deeper and deeper into the catacombs beneath the sinister seaside town. Your only chance of escape is a treacherous path through a sunken ship into the dark unknown that lies beyond.
All right.
Depths.
For our next returning maze, wax on, wax off, waxworks. There it is. Buy a ticket and make your way into the most amazing wax museum in the world has ever seen. Waxworks, a sinister figure, has been tinkering at night. The screams of his victims have been drowned out by a cauldron of bubbling wax in Waxworks.
And next up, you're going to want to take a trip into Dark Entity. Beam aboard a shattered space station for a zero-gravity descent into chaos. Because in space, no one can hear you die. Make sure to see this maze because this will be its final year.
Final year. One last chance. All right, our next one is a very popular one. Are you ready to bring back Origins? Visit the Wilderness Dance Hall and step back in time for Origins. Sarah Marshall has been branded a witch by the townsfolk, and you're about to take a journey in her footsteps. All will be revealed as the Green Witch curses those who have accused her. And it's open tonight with the lights on tour, baby.
So who's ready to step back into Mesmer? Step into Mesmer and be amazed by the power of the mind. A hypnotic session with Professor Mesmer can cure all phobias, including snakes, spiders, darkness, and much more. Enter the professor's dark world of hypnosis and come face to face with what lies beyond. You like Mesmer?
Yes,
Yeah,
very
it.
popular. Quite a walk back there, though. All right. Also returning from last year, Bloodline 1842. Enter the war-torn streets of the steampunk neo-Victorian city of Valdonia in Bloodline 1842. Vampires have destroyed the city. Armed with only your wits this time, you must find the remaining Daybreakers and help them destroy the Vampire King. The last stand is here, and it's up to you. A lot of pressure in that one.
Yeah, right? All right, and for our last returning maze of the season, it's the Grimoire. Turn the pages of a mysterious book that has the power to destroy the world. Escape the demonic hellhounds and the evil creatures that the Grimoire has released, or have your soul eternally trapped in its pages. We'll let you decide.
Yeah. The lesson is don't read this. It's bad for you. All right, we've made it this far. Are you ready to unearth 3 new and terror-ridden mazes? 3 brand new mazes that await you for Knott's Scary Farm 50th anniversary. Come on, you have to tell me you're ready. All right.
That was pretty good. I think they deserve to hear it now.
Yeah. First up, roll it. Cinema Slasher. Take in a fright-filled flick at the Midnight Theater, but you may find yourself in a starring role. Venture through the screen itself and into the movie worlds of the Cinema Slasher. Will you make it to the sequel or wind up another victim of the Midnight Theater? Shh. The movie's starting, and it's going to be a killer one.
The journey begins in a condemned theater. We walk into an auditorium and walk through the screen and right into the middle of the film. And you yourself become a star in this film, being chased by our mass slasher.
You're going to see an homage to all these mazes from the past. We have an homage to Slaughterhouse, to Trick or Treat, as well as Can't Put a Get Ya. The Cinema Slasher Killer is based off of one of our old dark ride overlays, Slasher of the Dark. All these things we're tying into this haunted movie theater as an homage to the 50th, because we are going back to these attractions and using them as theme pieces throughout the maze.
Through the trio of terror that we created, 3 different films, you're going to see these horrific images and scenes. What you see on the screen is what you're going to be walking into. When you walk in, he's going to turn his focus to you, and you are going to become a part of this film.
Gosh, I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. I'm a big movie fan, so.
Yes. As I feel everyone out here is probably a big horror movie fan. Yeah? So. All right, so up next, coming to memory lane, it's Room 13. A dangerously addictive new cocktail named the Devil's Elixir lies at the blood-red heart of the Blind Tiger murders. But where did it come from? Check into the extravagant Archive Hotel where you may find the answers. Or you may not be found at all.
So we're taking the story that we've had in the Roaring 20s, we're continuing that on inside of a brand new maze, Room 13, and I'm incredibly excited for all of our guests to come and see it. You finally get a chance to go behind the scenes and kind of see where the Devil's Elixir came from. Now, the Archive Hotel is a beautiful Art Deco hotel. You'll notice that, although beautiful, that there has been something sinister, something terrible that's happened, and that's all caused by this Devil's Elixir. So I'm incredibly excited to be able to dive in and see a little bit more of the Blind Tiger and the origin stories of the Devil's Elixir.
Room 13.
Room 13, baby. All right. Back in 1977, Knott's Scary Farm debuted the 10 Chilling Chambers. Anybody remember that one? You probably need back medicine then. To celebrate our 50th anniversary, we are debuting the modern version. Last up of the new mazes, the Chilling Chambers. But don't take my word for it. Please welcome the murderous maniac who presides over the chamber itself, the Keeper.
Dredging up the horrors of the ultimate Knott's Scary Farm 50th anniversary tribute maze, the Chilling Chambers. Guests will enter this towering, beautiful Gothic cathedral, a breathtaking shrine that houses all of these various chambers. Each one of them are a tribute to Knott's Scary Farm's past. The caretaker of these various chambers is a new character we have created named the Keeper, and he's just opened the door to let us in.
This maze is so chock full of Easter eggs. Every tombstone, every engraving, it all means something. It's all part of our history. This maze is a love letter to us all. We who created, you the fans. Everyone who has experienced Knott's over the last 50 years, this maze is for you.
Hiya, Fringy! It's so great to be back home here and not scary fun. Crank up that fun, because it's time for me to open my chamber doors. Inside, you'll see nightmares of 50 years of Halloween highs. Let me hear you. I've spent a half-century unearthing trinkets and totems of terror, but the time is right for me to show you my collection. I can't wait for the air to be crisp and for the leaves to crush beneath my graveyard boots. And most of all, Frenchies, to hear the sound of screams echo through the halls of my chilling chambers. Until then, Frenchies, good riddance, bad night, and I'll see you in the fall.
Ladies and gentlemen, the keeper himself. During Scary Farm, he'll be overseeing the chilling chambers up near the entrance to the Gauntlet. But tonight he'll be in Boot Hill for ghoulish readings and phantom photos just for you. And once you have experienced all of our thrilling mazes, you can continue to enjoy Knott Scary Farm with our 50th anniversary, our returning and new award-winning entertainment offerings that will be sure to have you screaming for more. First up, returning show right here is... Welcome to the Carnival du Grotesque. Right here at the Calico Mine stage, a collection of death-defying feats and carnival acts that will delight your darkest desires and fill your senses with terror and delight. The carnival right here. Don't miss it.
And we also have a classic returning to the world-famous Birdcage Theater after years of slumber. Dr. Cleaver returns. The classic Dr. Cleaver show is back for more mayhem and more madness. Join the demented doctor and his assistant for a journey into the outer reaches of the human mind.
Dr. Cleaver returns. And last but certainly not least, the all-new musical extravaganza. It's a brand new show. Let's take a look at it. It's called Music, Monsters, and Mayhem. And to tell us more about this unique and exciting musical experience is the creator, director, and choreographer, my good friend, the very talented Mr. K.C. Gussler.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you all tonight? Great. Well, as Jeff said, I'm Casey Gussler. I'm the creator, the show director, and choreographer of Knott Scary Farm's brand new 50th anniversary musical tribute spectacular, Music, Monsters, and Mayhem. It will be performing 3 times a night at the Walter Knott Theater. This production will take you on a sexy, scintillating, and provocative musical journey, celebrating 50 years of terror, frights, and laughter. It's based upon some of your favorite mazes and entertainment offerings throughout the past 50 years. We'll take you from the dark and ominous streets of Calico to the frightening and terror-filled doll factory and to the fiery depths of hell itself. This is a high-energy stage show which features high-octane choreography, a rocket musical score, and hosts a cast of 24 singers, dancers, and comedians that will get your heart pounding and screaming in delight. When I began creating this production over half a year ago, I conceived and developed it by looking through a list of Scary Farm mazes all the way from 1973 to present day 2022. It was imperative to me that we try and touch upon as many fan favorite offerings from over half a century. We had developed a brand new original song for one of the musical numbers, written by music producer Rob Perez and composer Brett Simmons. And the show will be lit with lighting design by 3-time Emmy winner of Dancing with the Stars, Mr. Matt Cotter. I'm very excited for all of you to visit this experience and have a great and happy Halloween. See you there.
I am your guide through fog. I am the conductor.
Hey, that's great, Mr. Conductor. I was just wrapping up.
Lights the way. It is the key to opening the portals.
Once he starts talking, he doesn't stop. Just go ahead, just finish.
My lantern interacts with the sights and the sounds of Scary Farm, providing a beacon in the darkness that unlocks secrets and mysteries. I alone make the journey. I alone am the conduit, forever lost, forever alone.
First try of the sliders. Cheers. That's good. Hold on. It has like bruschetta or something in it.
I think it's like cheese and arugula.
Yeah. So good. I'm gonna try some of these fries now. You can see it. It's like hard to. You can see it a little bit.
There we go.
That was a good pick. Oh, they're just like big ones too. I'm just not even. I don't need the fork, really.
I know.
Good or good? Crispy.
I like the rice on top.
Mm-hmm. 10 out of 10. Can I do a black margarita and the devil's elixir? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And the devil's elixir. Get in here. This is good.
This is like tangy good, like sweet and fruity.
This one's good. That one's giving a margarita though, for sure.
I think I like that one better.
I do too.
I just like the
look of it, because it has activated charcoal in it. I think that's what that box up on the rim is too.
Yeah, the white in my teeth.
Oh, you're right. I forgot that activated charcoal does that. Okay. So far, the drinks and the food that we've tried is really good. Kaylee's off to get more while I stand guard at the table. Cornbread cupcakes. I don't really love cornbread already, so I think that's why I'm a little indifferent.
It's giving down south.
It's giving dry.
It's giving southern hospitality.
And let me wash it down with this thing. Spaghetti.
I need a mustard bun.
Now we're gonna try the spaghetti. You can't even see it. It's about to slide right off. Oh, it's good. It's cheesy.
Oh, I'm excited.
It's good.
I never smile this big.
You can take that. Yes, thank you very much.
That's so good, right? Oh, here's
That's
the
the best
trash.
thing. That's the best thing.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Be kind to service workers.
The dog stuff?
Oh, that's so good, right?
I love that. It's like,
This is now an eating channel. Trisha Paytas, watch out, girl.
mac and cheese.
Yeah. The gator sausage. Haley doesn't even want to try this one, so I'm alone.
Hopefully this isn't taking the place of that. I mean, if it is not.
It's good. I mean, it's giving sausage, but it's good. It's giving
I'll sleep with my spaghetti.
These are so cute too. Alright, let's try it. So good. That's so good. It's warm too. So good.
Finish it.
Don't be shy, put some in.
Girl dinner.
It's good though, it tastes like juice.
Oh, okay.
It's giving apple juice, actually. It's giving apple juice. Capri Sun. Not me thinking that was real for a second. I think they do have some people in here though. Low key.
My evil curse. Bandits and cowboys with our bloody shells.
Hey y'all.
And why I still think one of them is gonna pop up. And let me make sure those hands are fake. Making sure ain't nobody back there. It's cool that it's like a saloon backdrop. Oh, that's cool. What is this little demon baby?
God, what is that?
And whose baby is this?
Gods and ghouls swarm around. I banish you to rot in hell underground.
What happened? What? Oh shit. You scared me. That woman scared me.
She said it's my
Oh, that was scary. Oh my god. I know. Oh, girl, be for real. Is giving scary?
I curse you foolish people to rise and grow this erotic ghost
I knew it was.
Tonight we're going to celebrate some of the past highlights of Knott's Scary Farm, kind of show how we got to where we are today, and then we're going to talk about some of the announcements we just made and how some of those attractions tie back to the event's history. To kick things off tonight, we're going to give a miniature, very brief crash course on the history of Knott's Scary Farm. Like I said, I wrote this whole big old book, so I'm not going to ramble on forever. This is going to be rapid fire to kind of help bring you up to date and help you understand and appreciate even more the wonderful surprises we have in store for you this season. By the way, if you've seen these presentations in the past, that's awesome, but I'm going to be sharing some photos that have never been published before of Knott's Scary Farm. So this is going to be a little bit different, but it's going to go by fast. So strap yourselves in. Let's go ahead and get this thing going. We can turn down the lights a little bit. So, Knott's Scary Farm did debut 1973, and it is indeed the longest running Halloween themed event at any theme park in the entire history of theme parks. Throughout the years, a lot of people have asked me, how did the event start? Well, I usually narrow it down to a lot of different things, but mainly one person. I narrow it down to an actor named Larry Vincent, who portrayed a character named Seymour, Master of the Macabre. Seymour. He was a famous television horror host here in Southern California in the early 1970s. And his shows consisted of like B horror movies, and Seymour would periodically interrupt the film and crack jokes about how terrible these movies are. He affectionately referred to his fans, his viewers, as fringies because they were on the fringe of lunacy for liking such terrible, trashy movies. But to promote his TV show, he took it on the road and performed it live at local movie theaters here in Southern California. And the format would be the same as his TV show, but in front of a live audience. So there'd be a horror movie up on the big screen, and Seymour would be there live and in person, cracking jokes. He took that concept to a couple local theme parks here in Southern California, but the venues were not ideal. They didn't really lend themselves to the eerie environment that matched Sinister Seymour. So Seymour's people, in an effort to look for a new and improved venue, well, they contacted Knott's Berry Farm, and they said, hey, Knott's Berry Farm, we understand you have the John Wayne Theater, which is now the Walter Knott Theater. We understand it's environmentally controlled, it's got a movie projector. Well, can we have Seymour perform there? Knott loved the idea and said, wait a minute, we can build a Halloween event around Seymour, and voila, that was the birth of Knott's Halloween Haunt, now known as Knott's Scary Farm. Now, from the very beginning, the park dove into the concept of a large-scale Halloween party. All the employees participated. The log ride was turned into Satan's Sawmill. Oops, this kind of happened last time. I don't know what's up with this thing. Can you just manually hit the next one? And the next one after that? All right, so log ride was turned into Satan's Sawmill, and the Calico Mine ride was turned into the Haunted Mine, and those were the main scare attractions at Scary Farm back in the early days, just packed with live actors terrorizing everybody. And then there was the now defunct attraction named the Haunted Shack, if you want to hit the next one. And so, if you don't know, the Haunted Shack is a permanent all-year-round walk-through attraction here at Knott's Scary Farm, kind of like a mystery house, but they had live actors during the haunt. And speaking of live monsters, Ghost Town, hit the next one, had the very first Scare Zone monsters on the planet. So they were the Wild West stunt show personnel dressed as monsters to roam the streets of Ghost Town and engage the guests. And then the early days of Scary Farm, they had all kinds of live entertainment. We'll go ahead and hit the next one with the carnival sideshows and illusions and magicians and repurposed the stunt shows. And go ahead and hit the next one with live bands and dancing, all kinds of live entertainment. The event was covered with it. And in every single store and employee participated and dressed up. Go ahead. That was from food services to merchandise to ticketing to ride operators, ushers, on and on and on. I mean, and the buildings of Ghost Town right there in the streets, inside of them, they were turned into startling peekins. Go ahead and hit the next one. With eerie lighting and masks on the mannequins and sound effects. And outside of those buildings, go ahead, Ghost Town became shrouded in scare cloth with eerie lighting and sound effects and fog. I mean, Knott's went all in. And by 1977, they introduced the first maze built solely for Knott's Scary Farm, named the 10 Chilling Chambers. It was the Chilling Chambers for short, and that maze set a new standard for the event because every single Knott's Scary Farm maze that came after can trace its roots back to the Chilling Chambers. And after Seymour hosted the first two haunts, other celebrity hosts got involved, people like Wolfman Jack and Weird Al Yankovic, and the longest-running host in Knott's Scary Farm's history, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Any fans of Elvira? We love Elvira. Well, by the 1980s, the event grew with more monsters and things like sliders in the Ghost Town Scare Zone, and the monster looks were becoming more advanced and identifiable as Knott's Scary Farm monsters. And by the late 1980s, the event grew with more mazes to accommodate the massive swarms of crowds attending Knott's Scary Farm. These mazes had more identity with their names and early forms of storytelling that paved the way to the powerhouse mazes of the 1990s. Classics like Lair of the Vampire, Dominion of the Dead, Nightmares, Industrial Evil, so many legendary classics that really kind of established the high quality we see nowadays at the event. And in time, other scare zones would be added aside from Ghost Town, like the Gauntlet, the Swamp, Carnival, Silver Bullet Mine Town, others like Necropolis. So all of a sudden now, the event was covering the entire park, making way for groundbreaking mazes like the Carnival of Carnivorous Clowns in 3D, to classics like the Asylum, 13 Acts Murder Manor, Doll Factory, Trick or Treat, and so many more that raised the production value of these various mazes. Now, throughout the years, interactivity would soon be added with attractions like Trap and Skeleton Key Rooms, and those led to Infected and Bloodline, where the guests become active participants within the various attractions. Now, throughout the years, the show production grew from the Hanging to Puppet Up, from Zamora to Dr. Cleaver to the Misfit of Magic, Ed Alonzo, and then theatricality would soon be added with attractions like Paranormal Incorporated, Hollow, Forsaken Lake, Origins, The Grimoire, and that, my dear friends of the Birdcage, in a nutshell, brings us up to date. I told you we would go by fast. I think Thank you. Now, obviously, that's just scratching the surface. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of factors that make Knott Scary Farm what it is today, but that's just a general summary. So now that we're up to date, let's talk about some of these announcements that were just made. I'm going to talk about a couple of the attractions I've worked on, and their inspiration, and how they tie back to Knott Scary Farm's history. The first one is Cinema Slasher. Are you excited for Cinema Slasher? Yeah. Well, the inspiration behind this is pretty simple. For years, people have been saying, oh, going through Knott Scary Farm is like going through your very own horror movie. So we thought, well, geez, what if we were able to do that? So I conceptualized this attraction with industry designer John Cook. I wrote it, he designed it. It was overseen by Ken Parks, who's the corporate director of creative development for Cedar Fair, the parent company of Knott Scary Farm. And we worked very closely with the eventual co-designer and art director side of this project at Knott's, Daniel Miller. So, to reiterate the basic premise, the Cinema Slasher invites guests into a local movie theater that's proudly hosting its Trio of Terror Film Festival. And the 3 films star the most famous masked horror movie villain of all time, the Slasher of the Dark. The only problem is, this movie theater burned down 50 years ago on this very night, and it's mysteriously reappeared. So, guests go inside the theater and go through the screens and find themselves trapped within the worlds of these 3 movies. The titles of those movies are Trick or Treat, Camp Gonna Getcha, and Slaughterhouse. So, will the guests succumb to the evil slasher of the dark? Will they find themselves trapped forever in this very haunted movie theater? So, there's tons of references to Knott Scary Farm's past in that brief little description, starting with the antagonist, the Slasher of the Dark. So if you didn't know, Slasher of the Dark that we're seeing here was a Knott Scary Farm overlay to the Kingdom of the Dinosaurs attraction back in 1994 and 1995. It's about a serial killer attacking folks in a theme park dark ride. Fast forward many years later in 2016, when the Skeleton Key rooms became standalone miniature scare experiences, one of them was named Slasher, about a 1980s serial killer. So the main antagonist for Cinema Slasher is inspired by those past characters. Now the 3 main movies that we go inside for Cinema Slasher are inspired by past Scary Farm attractions, starting with Trick or Treat, that allowed guests to go into the Green Witch's house, Sarah Marshall. But it was modernized, and we were attacked by her evil minions, the Tricksters. In our variant, they go inside the house, but it's a sorority house where there's a massive college Halloween party taking place that the Slasher of the Dark is attacking. So it's got your typical horror movie tropes, but it's kind of our nod to like the classic 1970s slasher movies. The second film is Camp Gonna Getcha. So that was a Knott Scary Farm overlay to the Timber Mountain log ride from 1996 through 2000, with like Eagle Scouts taking over the mountain. In our version, guests are going through a forest summer camp that's under attack by another version of the Slasher of the Dark. So it's kind of our ode to like the 1980s summer camp slasher films. Now the third movie, Slaughterhouse. The first time Slaughterhouse appeared as a Knott Scary Farm maze was way back in 1987 in the Berry Hills Playhouse over in Camp Snoopy. Many years later, also in Camp Snoopy, there was another version of Slaughterhouse that came along that ultimately became Uncle Willie's Barbecue Slaughterhouse. A lot of blood and guts. Our inspiration for our version is more the torture porn films of the 2000s. So over-the-top gore. So consider yourselves warned. But you can imagine that myself and John Cook, Daniel Miller, and Ken Parks had a lot of fun reimagining those past themes for Cinema Slasher. The next one up is the Chilling Chambers. Are you excited for the Chilling Chambers? So this is a tribute in name alone to the first maze built solely for Knott Scary Farm, which we learned debuted back in 1977. And just like Cinema Slasher, I conceptualized this with John Cook, Ken Parks, and the eventual co-designer and art director assigned to the project, Gus Kruger. And so if you were born and you were old enough and you actually went to Knott Scary Farm back in 1997 for their 25th anniversary, go ahead and hit the next one. You went maybe through the 25th Shiver Anniversary Tribute Maze. And it was fun, but it was kind of like a hodgepodge of past things. You want to hit the next one? And so we were looking at trying to do something that had a little more narrative cohesion, because when you have bits and pieces of these past attractions all kind of jammed in one venue. Well, we wanted to find something that had a little bit more cohesion. So one of the tools that we've implemented to try to help us accomplish that is we created a narrator for the Chilling Chambers that we've named the Keeper, who you met earlier. And so the Keeper is a tribute to the first host of Not Scary Farm, Sinister Seymour. But he's a new character inspired by Seymour, but more on the creepy side of things, more the scary, macabre, sinister side of things. But the Keeper works as a way to inform the guests as to what they're seeing when they go through this attraction. Go ahead and hit the next one. Because we know that not every guest of Scary Farm is going to be familiar with all these past things, so he works as a way to inform the guests. And so myself and John Cook and Gus and Ken and the rest of the talented team putting this together, we're very excited for you to check it out. Now, there's one last thing before I wrap everything up that I wanted to share with you. I mentioned at the top of this that I spent several seasons as one of the sliding monsters in the Ghost Town Scare Zone. My character was named Rage the Werewolf. That's Rage 1.0 there on the right-hand side with the Green Witch. And then after a couple of seasons, they created a prosthetic that they would glue to my face every night. So that's Rage 2.0 on the left-hand side there. I never got to see any of this stuff. We didn't have like a legacy museum or anything. So I brought these historic relics to share with you. But now that you've gotten to know me over the past few minutes, I also brought these things as a fun, friendly reminder that there's humans behind the mask, and that there's humans behind the scenes who make the magic of Not Scary Farm. Since 1973, this 50th anniversary celebration is dedicated to those memories, and it's dedicated to all of you.
Okay, so I'm back home now, and it was honestly a lot of fun. The event flew by quickly. I don't know if it was always going to be that or what, but we ended up going on Ghost Rider. That was the only ride open. And then obviously, as you guys saw, we did the food and drinks in the media lounge, and we also did the lights on tour of the Origins house. And then as like a parting gift, they gave us these pins. I don't know if it's going to be able to focus. These are the pins that they gave us, along with this like little poster thing. So what I think I'm going to do with this is honestly probably just frame it and use it as like Halloween decor. But it was really cool that this was the first time they did this type of event in like 4 years, like basically since before COVID. And also getting to see the announcement of 3 new mazes, new shows, and then obviously like returning mazes and things. I'm really excited for the Cinema Slashers house, because if it's anything like the one that was at Halloween Horror Nights in Universal Orlando a couple years back, I want to say 2 years ago maybe, that was like one of my favorite houses. So that I'm excited for, especially because it's within that horror genre of like horror movies, and you know that's my bread and butter. So overall, it was a really fun experience. Got to do the lights on tour, which is a very rare thing to be able to do, so that was really cool. And then obviously getting to try a bunch of the new food and drinks. And then it was a walk on for Ghost Rider, and that is like unheard of. So that was also amazing. Now my neck hurts though. So shout out to Not Scary Farm for inviting me out to the media preview tonight, and I'll see you guys in the fog when it comes to opening night of Not Scary Farm.